Well, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Beat of Sports. I'm Marc Daniels. It's Chris Vasquez. Happy Friday the 13th, Chris.
Happy Friday, the 13th, Mark.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yourself?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Early morning this morning.
Why?
I was over at Johnny's house this morning producing. I know.
Whoa! I didn't know you were in the building early this morning.
I was. Yeah.
Huh.
Been here since 5:30.
How'd it go?
Smooth as butter.
Yeah.
Best producer there is.
Well, maybe up for debate, but that's okay.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, I brought bagels this morning.
You did.
How'd that work out?
You judge me for my bagel choice every time.
Yeah.
It's all good, though. It's all good.
Okay, so should I promote this now?
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Well,
it may or may not sound good.
You can go watch the live stream of the show. I know Mike and Brandon have been doing it for quite some time in their show, and they do a great job, and they get a lot of bells and whistles. We're
beginners.
Well, but we're gonna, like, they try some stuff. We're gonna try some stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna be slicing deli meats in the 10 o'clock hour during breaks. Cat juggling in the 11 o'clock hour.
Don't ruin the surprises.
So if you go to where to get the stream
so on YouTube and on X or
Twitter.
Two
of you that will go and actually watch it. What now?
On X/Twitter or YouTube, 96.9 Game on Twitter, 96.9 The Game YouTube channel.
Okay, so if you go to YouTube, you click on 96.9 The Game Orlando.
It should show us as live.
Or if you go to that main page and click on live, then you can click on the stream.
Yes.
There we are.
Hopefully. And hopefully
no,
sounding
it's
good.
Working. I just, well, me and you are in, so there's
all right. There we go.
Yeah. Our goal is 5. If just 5 people go, we feel like we made a small success with this today. So anyway, we're up. So outside of YouTube, they go to Twitter and you click it up.
Correct.
Okay.
Which I'm going to go see right now.
For the Twitter feed, I'm not wearing a shirt. So, no. All right, check it out.
I thought we wanted people to come to our stream.
All right, so the stream is up, so you can go and it's taken us a while, but
better late than never.
We'll get there. Big Valentine.
I will be here Friday night tonight for UCF baseball. Tomorrow, I think might be hitting up some Maxine's on Shine.
Whoa!
I think we might be doing that. Yeah, we might be doing Maxine's on Shine.
Like in the reservation?
I might need one.
Oh.
I haven't made one yet. But I know a guy.
You know a guy.
I do know a guy.
That's nice. Right.
Daughter will be coming with us. It'll be a family Valentine's Day.
Right. That's nice. Good.
And then Sunday, I'll be bartending out at O'Egan's Avalon Park.
Just for kicks, yesterday when I went into Publix and they had their full Valentine's Day display and flowers and everything. Now, I've told her, I buy my wife flowers 35, 40 times a year. Almost every week I buy my wife flowers based on season, and I know the flowers like. So I'm not running to pick up roses today for my wife. So I pick up, and there's no price on it. So I said to the person,
"Don't do that. Please don't do what I think you're going to do."
What?
Is it free? There's no price on it.
No.
Okay.
I'm not that idiot. A different type of idiot. I said, "How much are these?" And it systematically goes, "I don't know." I go, "Well, shouldn't they have prices on them?" And then he goes, "Well, strategically, people tend to just buy them this time of year." I go, "Well, strategically, I'd like to know the price." They're $25.
Okay.
Yeah, because next week they'll be 14.
Correct.
Yeah. I wasn't buying them anyway. I was just curious what the price. That's all. Yeah. We got a listener email coming up.
Yes.
I told Kelly the main email. I got 2, but I told Kelly the main email. It's interesting.
Boy.
It is interesting. Yeah, to say the least. Richard Hell's going to talk sports law with us. We got the Trinidad Chambliss ruling yesterday with the crying judge. We'll get Richard's thoughts on the judge's ruling. I don't think the case is over. I think Chambliss is going to play football at Ole Miss in 26, but I think the NCAA is going to appeal. Michael O'Donnell's going to talk some basketball with us. We got weekend review. We got a whole bunch of things. The NBA All-Star break is here, so stick around. Here's everybody's favorite segment. 11. So many people to watch the stream right now.
Are we up to 11?
Goal was 5.
Sweet. All right. And, my joke.
Wait till the top comes off.
My joke actually ties into a clip you played in the final segment of The Bridge.
Oh, okay.
I might have just given away the punchline.
Yeah.
What do you call a rabbit with fleas?
I don't know, Chris. What do you call a rabbit with fleas?
I should have had you pull up Chris Russo. That would be Bugs Bunny.
Pretty funny there, huh?
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm talking about Bugs Bunny at the half either.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's whatever his name.
Wow. There you go.
We're off
and running. Yeah. 9.
Hey, we doubled what we
Lost
wanted.
a couple of people during the break there.
We doubled what we wanted.
First day that the stream for us is up. I know Mike and Brandon have done it for quite some time.
And I do see your comments on YouTube when we play like intros to like the dad joke. It's silent, or when you were playing Chris Russo.
Right.
So
It's
that
all
we're trying to.
Chris's fault,
It
by the
is.
way.
Blame me, but I am working on trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah. He's got a how-to guide in
More like
Mandarin
that.
Chinese, and he's trying to break it down.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay. So, and again, the stream's up. Go to YouTube or on X or Twitter, and you can watch the show.
Oh, could I also say real quick? They actually thought my joke was like my laugh wasn't real.
What do you mean? Oh, people thought.
Yeah, they thought it was like fake.
Oh, by
laugh.
seeing you now laugh. Yeah.
Now they see it. They see I actually believe that these jokes are absolutely hilarious.
And it says a lot about the makeup of Chris, but that's okay. Okay, couple of quick listener emails. Do you want the simple one or the one that's a little bit more drawn out? I'm going to give you both.
Simple.
Which one you want fun?
Let's start simple.
Simple? Okay, hold on. This is a simple one here. Have you ever loaned someone a pair of sneakers?
No one.
Would you ever loan someone a pair of sneakers?
Depends on the situation.
A friend of mine asked if he could borrow a pair of sneakers because he forgot as we're headed for a basketball run. I didn't remember to take them back. He kept them for a month and is shocked to realize I don't want them back.
What did he do to the sneakers?
I don't know, but it's so, well, hang on. Like, what size are you?
I'm a size 13.
Whoa.
Hey,
11 and a half. Would you let someone borrow a pair of sneakers?
If I had multiple pairs,
How many pair of sneakers you
own? Like 8, maybe. 7
Okay,
or 8.
like you started saying if I had multiple pairs, then you come up with 8. I thought you had like 1.
No, if I had multiple pairs on me, like if I'm out somewhere.
Okay, let's say he's coming to pick you up.
Okay, then yeah, I would.
Okay. And he plays 2-3 hours and gives the sneakers back. You're fine?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you forget, and next thing you know, a couple of weeks goes by, and it's like, hey, I got your sneakers, but I've been wearing them all the time. Do you want them back?
I still want them back, yeah.
Really? I don't. Your stink, I don't want your stink on my stink.
I mean, I can just put them in the washer.
No. Keep them. Yeah. I don't think I would loan sneakers.
And by the way, let me clarify. I have 7, 8 regular pairs of shoes, not basketball shoes. I have 1 pair of basketball shoes. Just to clarify.
Why, do you play better in those or something when you put basketball shoes on?
Yeah. Protect my ankles.
That's fair. I run better if I'm wearing shirts.
Protect your ankles too. High tops.
Okay. Here's the other one. Okay. All right. Mark, I'm likely on the younger side of your audience. I'm 34, started listening to you when my dad used to pick me up from school. Okay, let's make the host feel really old right now. Back when you had the show in the afternoon, still listening today most of the time via the podcast, which we're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder your thoughts on what happened to me recently when a woman I dated one time began ghosting me, and I think I know why. I have a history degree from a Northeast college where I played lacrosse for a couple of seasons, but didn't really want to teach, but I enjoy acting and singing, and in high school, it actually helped score some pretty good dates. I'm 6'1", in good shape, think I'm a pretty good-looking guy. I've done well in the dating game. Well, we got a pretty good idea we got here. And singing and acting, again, wasn't a bad way to get dates back in high school, even in college. After college, I taught for a year and a half. Didn't really think it was my deal. And a friend of mine got me a job at multiple theme parks, doing all sorts of jobs, singing and dancing. And we have performance all over the place. And he goes, and pay and benefits were good and had insurance, wasn't bad. Between those jobs, I bartended as well. About 2 years ago, someone I met bartending one night suggested I call him because he ran a party company. Okay. And said I might have some additional work for that pays really well. I said, sure. A phone call and a meeting later, it turns out the job was party clown.
Okay.
Okay, if you stop right now, it's just funny, right?
Yes.
If somebody says party clown, it's just funny.
Yes.
Right? The wig, the shoes, the balloons, the horn, everything you can think of. Anything to get a laugh. And it was gigs for 2-year-old birthday parties, 6-year-old birthday parties, teenage parties, even adult parties. And the gig paid sometimes $500-$600. When I first started doing it, I'd get 1 or 2 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Not kidding you. Now I get about 7 to 8.
It's nice side money.
He goes, with the bartending, I make a pretty good chunk of change. One day, I finally got up the nerve to ask someone that works at the restaurant or the bar that I work at to go out on a date. She said, yes, we met for happy hour, had a really good time. And at some point, I knew it was going to come up. I said, are you having a good time? She said, yes. And she goes, what else do you do outside of bartending? And I pushed it back by saying, well, what do you do? And she goes, I'm a yoga and fitness director. When she said, what do you do? I thought about making up something, but why? I'll be honest. He says, I'm a party clown. She couldn't stop laughing. I thought I was joking. But I like being a funny guy. I said, no, really, I'm a party clown. I had a puzzling look on her face. We had a good time on the date. When we left, I gave her a nice little innocent kiss and said, hopefully we do it again. She said, that'd be fine. Then literally ghosted me. Saw her work a few days later. I said, hey, I thought we had a good time. She says, yeah. He says, well, maybe we can go out again. She says, we'll see. And hasn't responded since. Is she not going to go out with me because I'm a party clown? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, hold on a second. That's her loss.
Correct.
There's other women out there.
Correct.
You have nothing to be ashamed of.
No. You make people laugh. Like, that's what bartenders do. We make people laugh. We serve the people.
I will say, if he pulls up in the clown car, she's got a point, okay? At some point, you got to...
Just clown car or clown costume? If you show up wearing the wig, the nose, the shoes, everything, you got the lapel that squirts water.
I think that's clown rule, though. You got to go dressed.
No, if you show up on a date, wearing the clown outfit.
No, but don't clowns do the full outfit on the way to the gig?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we have any clowns in the audience that could answer that question?
He is.
Can you answer that question? Do you show up to the gig already in, I guess, uniform?
How do you not laugh when someone says, what do you do? I'm a party clown. I'm not laughing at you. I'm like, oh, that's funny. Tell me about it. Apparently she wasn't that, like she thought he was joking.
I don't think you know how to react when you first hear it, because that's not something that comes up every day. Yeah, I'm a party clown.
Okay, so and I got this email last week. So I did a search of Orlando party clowns. I didn't realize there's so many companies. Yeah, with like, 4 or 5 star reviews. Like Kiki the clown. The kids loved him. Yeah.
Do they all have like the same name?
Don't ask me clown questions as if I know here. Stop that. Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm wondering if they have like the same names, like Bozo. I don't know any other clown names.
I don't know. You think it's like a horse? You have to register your clown name?
I don't
with
know.
The clown association, or can you have like multiple names? If I do kid parties, I want to be known as this.
Is there a clown association?
There's got to be a clown association, right?
With like
got to be a union for clowns. Someone's got to stick up for them. Right? Yeah.
Is it a ringleader?
I don't know. I
have so many questions.
I do too. What do you do? Party clown. It's just funny. I don't care what anybody says.
I also want to know what the act is.
What do you mean the act?
If he's doing balloon animals, if he's doing
he does everything. He said horn, the wig, the shoes, the balloons, everything. Well, he does all sorts of parties. So I would imagine the party for 2 and 6 and 12 and 40-year-olds different.
So then some clowns don't talk. So you just using the horn and do like kind of miming everything?
Stop asking me a ton of clown questions about who talks and who doesn't talk. I don't know what the policy is.
I just have so many questions.
I do have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
No, that's her loss though.
Yeah.
You keep doing it.
He's banking coin.
I'm saying.
If she doesn't want to date a party clown, that's her fault.
That's right. You'll find someone out there. Wow. Maybe another party clown.
Party clown. Here's my card. It just says party clown on it with his clown name.
It's got like a bunch of confetti on it. And
wow. Great. 10 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader, Marc Daniels of Beta Sports, Chris Vasquez over there. I'm here. Bobby from Bowegans is here. You've got young kids. Have you ever hired a party clown?
I actually have not hired a party clown. I didn't know it was still a prevalent thing. Apparently,
he's
you'd
doing
be shocked.
Well.
Yeah.
Dude's getting $500-$600 a gig.
Yeah.
About that.
I have to look into it.
Yeah. Doing good?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. What do you think of Super Bowl?
It was
hard to watch.
It was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept thinking if the Packers win it, this was our chance to finally beat the Patriots, but here we are. We weren't at all. So, I like to see a good defense. So that's good to see a running back get MVP was cool. But other than that, it's not the most exciting game.
Well, it's Friday the 13th of Valentine's weekend. If that doesn't say beer, I don't know what does. So.
That's 100%.
What do we got today? What's going on?
So we got the big can today. And we got some guests here at the studio, so we got plenty to help us drink it.
Wow.
Today we have The Sun's Getting Real Low is our blonde ale with Centennial hops. We released this one for Orlando Craft Beer Week as one of our special releases. So we finally got the chance to bring it in and share it with you guys. So it is I wouldn't say a classic style blonde ale. We kind of want to put our spin on there. So the interesting thing about this one is we used American hops with it was like Centennial. So it gives it a little bit more of a citrusy tangerine flavor on the background. We also used our yeast that we typically use for our hazy IPAs. So it gives it another, kind of nuance and build on that flavor and character from just like a traditional clean blonde ale. So we're really stoked to do it. It's always fun to experiment and do different things on, classic styles.
If I asked how you got that name, would you remember the story?
I would.
Yeah.
Pass these down.
Yeah.
So this was one between me and our head brewer Jason. He's a much bigger guy in stature than I am.
Yeah.
And so we always, when we're hanging out, maybe we had a couple beers and stuff. And I know it's kind of towards the end of the night. He's like, oh, should do another round. I'm like, sun's getting real low, big guy.
There you go.
Maybe call it a night.
Isn't it awesome when you think of how some of the beers got named and the different stories that come out?
It's amazing.
We have a whole thread with the staff. We just have to keep on it because it's so hard to name a beer nowadays. So it's basically off of some of the dumb stuff that we say.
All right. So I got to say, we always talk about hops. We always talk about, well, we don't really always, but we talk about the malts, even the water profile. Something we don't really talk about in beer, though, is the yeast.
Yeah, we haven't touched on that too much, which is, it's one of the biggest flavor influences you can get on a beer is the style of yeast. You could use the same water and hops and grain for the same profile, but you switch up the yeast, you're going to have a vastly different style. So, all the way from English style yeast to American styles, Belgian styles, each one has its own nuances and different flavor profile it puts on there. So this one, again, it was a cool thing. So with our hazy IPAs, we actually use, it's an American style. We actually use a form of an English style yeast. It helps give it a soft, nice roundness to it. But we pull the yeast from that hazy IPA and we put it back into this blonde ale to kind of give it a little bit more nuances and stuff. So really cool.
So I know you said there's like English, American, different styles of yeast. This is you said a hazy yeast.
Yeah, so it's an English strain that we use primarily for our hazy IPAs, and so we can reuse the yeast from batch to batch, depending on the health of it. We watch it. The whole thing. The adage is, we just make wort, but we're really taking care of yeast. Like that's what we do. Yeast make the beer. So we just make sure it's happy the whole way through. So this one, we took it from one of our hazes, actually the Woolly, used it to ferment this beer out, and it came out like really great, nice, like cool, complex, like nuances and stuff on that.
So I was blown away when we did the process of making our beer model of consistency, and I learned about the life of a yeast, which I am totally not Mr. Science guy, but that just blew me away.
Living organism,
right?
Yep.
And that you will use.
Yeah, we can reuse it. And we can monitor it, and once we see, maybe it stops fermenting the way we want it to ferment. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't flocculate, means it like kind of drop out of the beer. We notice a little bit more of a haze and stuff that we don't want. Then when that one goes down the tube, and then we start with fresh pitch.
So, how many times do you use a yeast typically?
For us, usually between 5 and 10. 10 would be definitely up on the higher end. Depends on what styles we have going on. And we like to use a lot of different styles and different strains of yeast. If we use the same one for every single beer, you'd kind of start to notice, a particular flavor, and everything would start to kind of blend in. So we switch it up. And on our board right now, you probably find 5-6 different styles of yeast strains that we use.
So you could use this yeast that you said you used from the haze or for the hazies that you're now in the blonde ale. You could also use that for a stout.
Yeah, we could use this one for a stout. I think it would have a good flavor profile to it. And the cool thing about it, and something that we got into like when we first started, is like there's yeast everywhere. There's yeast in the air, like not always. There's yeast that have been modified genetically just through itself through evolution, just using it in beer over and over again. It kind of becomes attributed to using eating the sugars, going to sleep, making alcohol, doing that whole cycle. But there are things like wild yeast. We've tried to ferment beer before. I've actually taken yeast from my beard that went for a walk in the orange grove, tried that fermented beer. It didn't come out great.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry, what?
It's everywhere. We've cut open
I thought
oranges.
the party clown guy was out of,
listen, we didn't come out with it commercially. We were trying to test it. It fermented, but
so at night when you shut down, there's like a wild yeast fight going on inside.
we're always trying to push the boundaries, Mark.
Wow.
So I can imagine, because you've seen Jason, he's got that long beard.
Oh yeah.
Imagine yeast from his beard,
just
yeast from
send
Bobby's
him
beard.
walk on the beach and come back.
No.
Have something nice.
I don't. I don't. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just cool, the science behind it. Now the strains that we're using are more commercially available, and like I said, have gone through that evolution of being more adapt to their environment.
Wow, what's going on? I know always something happening. What do you got this weekend? What's coming out?
A lot of stuff going on. We are still getting closer and closer every week to our final construction. We are going to have a grand reopening for our Castleberry location, putting in a full kitchen, doubling the space there. So our anniversary party is usually in the third week of February, on February 20th. We're going to push it back a little bit. So we'll have an announcement very soon. We're going to have our 11-year anniversary party, our grand reopening at the Castleberry location. Tons of new beers coming out. I think we had some excitement last week. We are waiting. Our peanut butter 7 layers coming back. We're going to let it rest a little bit longer on some roasted peanuts until that flavor is perfect. So in about 2 weeks, that will be out. The guys are back in Castleberry right now brewing a Rauch beer, which is a smoked beer, which is one of my favorite styles. So when that one's ready, I'll bring that in. It's a whole new experience with that one.
Yeah. Tell folks where to find you, man.
We got 2 locations in Central Florida, one in Castleberry on the corner of 436 and Redbug, and one in Avalon Park at the Marketplace at Avalon. Find us online at bowegans.com. That's BOWIGENS.com, and at all the socials at Bowegans Beer Company.
Awesome.
And let's use code word sun's getting real low. We'll give you $1 off your first draft today.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby.
Cheers.
Richard Hale in studio. Sports Law segment next.
with Richard Hale.
We talk sports and law with Richard Hale, our sports law expert. Hale and Jacobson is the firm. And you can follow the stream at YouTube or on Twitter. We're down to 9.
It happens.
Got to pay bills. Got to take a break. So
it happens.
First day of the full stream. Go click on work in progress. But I asked Richard if he wanted the camera on him, and he said yes.
Absolutely.
I like that. I respect that. You're not afraid to hide behind anything.
So Big Bunny and Party Clown walk into a bar.
Yeah, how about that? By the way, Chris wearing a Gentry's barbecue hat. My God, talk about all-time support here. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Let's dive into this, okay? Trinidad Chambliss wins a injunction yesterday. I played this earlier, so Chris, make sure you get this cranked up. This is the judge, Robert Whitwell, announcing his decision. All right, here we go.
In favor of Trinidad Chambliss and grants his request for preliminary injunction relief.
He's crying. In all your years in the courtroom, I'm sure there were very emotional cases, but have you ever had a judge cry over an eligibility ruling for a college football player?
No, soon to be played by Robert Duvall in the in the when this John Grisham novel comes to life on the big screen. I can see Robert Duvall as the judge there crying and issuing this opinion. We have to remember this is an Ole Miss law graduate that serves as the judge in this case, and so the fact that he found in favor of Trinidad Chambliss coming back for a 6th season to potentially win a Heisman Trophy and march the Rebs into the history books is not surprising.
Okay, several things going on here. The NCAA twice denied him based on their guidelines, their rules, and said, hey, here's why you don't meet the criteria. He goes to court again twice in Mississippi. So if you're on the outside, you're like, okay, so that's it. As we've talked, just go find a state judge. That's a fan. Charles Bediaco got it at Alabama until another Alabama judge said no. It ended his basketball season. It just looks on the outside. So that's all it is. It doesn't matter what the NCAA's eligibility rules are. Just go find the right emotional judge.
Yes. That is that simple at this point. Now, there certainly are some legal criteria that need to be met here. And you and I have talked in the past about the standard that needs to be set forth by these athletes that are seeking this particular relief. But at the end of the day, yes, if you've got a judge who you believe is going to rule favorably, then you find that judge, you get the case in front of them, get that judge to issue a temporary restraining order, at least in the short term.
Right.
You're able to get an answer to your question. Now, that case is going to be appealed. So the Mississippi State Supreme Court is going to have to agree with that particular judge. And you can, draw whatever inference or conclusion you want with that particular process. But you would think that the highest court within that state would not necessarily.
Yeah, those aren't lifetime appointments, are they? In the state Supreme Court of Mississippi? Right?
They are lifetime appointments.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Well, then you're not feeling the pressure if you're the one that voted against him getting eligibility, but it'd be unlikely that would happen.
Well, I think it calls into question. I mean, we're sports fans, right? So let's say that 3 of those appointed judges went to Mississippi State.
Yeah, good point. Maybe a Southern Miss.
Maybe a Southern Miss grad in there. So, so what do they have any? Obviously they're supposed to be impartial, and I think what we're saying here tends to suggest that judges aren't impartial, and I've never found that to be true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that being said, you'd like to think that we're getting a fair shake here, and that Trinidad Chambliss has gone through all the right channels and has presented the arguments as they need to be made. But
listen, I as a football fan would be happy to see Trinidad Chambliss play in 2026. In some defense of the NCAA here, they're going to throw their hands up and say, so when do the eligibility rules apply? Well, that's the problem. They're all over the place. And what their answer is, if we do this case by case, then what are you asking me for eligibility rules? Well, we've put guidelines. We tried to enforce them. We've tried to view case by case, but what's the point then of our eligibility rules?
Well, I think the point of the eligibility rules is that you try to set a standard that everyone can adhere to, right?
Mhm.
But when the NCAA is failing to look at this necessarily on a case by case basis, there has to be a check in place. And if you feel like the system has failed you, there has to be another remedy. In this
Mhm.
case, that remedy to these athletes is seeking out a favorable venue and seeing if they can push the law on this. The NCAA is, they don't set the standard for the entire country, right?
No, but the school chose to be a volunteer member of their association.
They did, and I think that's where the rubber really meets the road here, and we're going to have to at some point give them either the authority and ability to be able to set a standard that everybody's going to adhere to, or B, we're just going to let the states decide this for themselves, and then you know whatever the most favorable state is where all athletes are going to go. It's a slippery slope, obviously.
I want to play. I played this clip earlier. They brought up witnesses to speak on behalf of Trinidad Chambliss and former New York Giant coach. My God, how did that happen? And Ole Miss assistant coach Joe Judge yesterday said this.
But we would have to educate. This is always a tough conversation to have, and it's not a popular thing. Listen to the truth. We would have to educate significant others who may have been pregnant during the season or going to have a baby during the season. And you'd have to educate them on, you have this baby in the middle of the season. That father has to play good football. It's a day-by-day production business. He has to be ready to perform and go out there and play. And when I say that is, you need to let him sleep. He needs to be in another room, detached. You have to explain to the mother, like, hey, listen, he ain't waking up for midnight feedings. After this.
How does Joe Judge ever get another job coaching football after the?
He's got a job, probably a place that he has no problem having a job.
I grew up with a dad that worked 3 jobs and still managed to put in the time and effort necessary to be a great father. So you hear things like that, and you realize kind of how far we've fallen, and it's a
I'm
sad
trying to figure out who
conversation.
thought, hey, let's bring this up. It'll help Trinidad win his case. You're thinking, I don't really think it's going to be a factor whether Trinidad wins or not here today.
Yeah, Joe Judge, maybe stick to calling plays and offense,
I don't
defense,
know.
and
Let me stay in the SEC because Charles Bediako did lose in court to an Alabama judge who said, no, this doesn't work. You're not going to be able to keep playing because in this case, the NCAA's rule did apply. Why?
yeah, keep in mind here that the standard, again, as we talked about, for a temporary restraining order, uh, just in this particular instance, the judge didn't feel that the standard had been met. And there are a couple things that Bediako had to prove. Number one, that he was going to suffer irreparable harm. In this particular instance, the judge disagreed. Obviously, uh, the other standard here, legal standard, would be that the judge found that there was a liable case or a potential viable case that he could continue with, and the judge simply rejected those arguments. There are other avenues that Bediako could have sought here in terms of moving forward with a lawsuit and things of that nature that, certainly in this particular instance, his seeking a temporary injunction just was never going to fly. So, yes, you're correct. Obviously, the judge did what the judge needed to do in that particular instance. I tend to agree with the judge's analysis here. I think that the slippery slope that could have been created by allowing Bediako to go and secure money as a professional athlete in the G League and then come back into college, I think the slippery slope there was just too much for this particular judge, and I tend to agree.
Yeah, and look, I do think there's a gray area, and as much as I heard Nate Oates, I think go way, way beyond what really was the case here. The one thing I will agree with Nate Oates is that he does bring up a valid point about the European player, and goes, okay, so the guy that won the NBA draft ends up in the G League. He's got a problem with the European guy that played high-level European basketball that was paid more than expenses. We're good with him. He is right about that. That is the head scratcher of them all. I mean, Arizona's got a center of the number 1 team in the country right now that played second division and was paid good money for 3 years, and he's a sophomore
in a different country.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, mascot lawsuit. We have a Washington Wizards mascot that apparently has hired a high-powered attorney to go after Jackson Hayes of the Los Angeles Lakers because of the mascot doing one of his things during a timeout that he's supposed to do and may have been shoved by Jackson Hayes, and mascots have rights. So where are we going here?
Mascots have rights. You don't put your hands on somebody else. And especially in this instance, I think the player knows he was wrong. Interesting backstory here is that this is not the first legal affair that this particular mascot has been involved in. And if
he's a little feisty.
He's a little feisty, and you can go online and you can read about how his
Gee Whiz, Chris, is what he's known as. Gee Whiz.
How his feistiness has, again, Gee Whiz, the party clown, and
a lot going on today.
Big Bunny. So yes, in this particular case, you don't put your hands on somebody else, especially when you cause them to be injured, as Gee Whiz has alleged in his complaint. I think the lawsuit's over $100 million. I don't see that being the likely outcome here. There may be a small settlement that is to be reached, and Gee Whiz gets to keep his name in the papers at least for another week.
So you think he's got a legitimate claim?
It depends on his injuries. Certainly, again, I think it's clear, even though Gee Whiz should take some responsibility here for maybe being in the player's personal space. But certainly the player had no right to react the way that he did. And if he did cause Gee Whiz some injuries, then those are certainly, they need to be reimbursed.
One more. In the world of golf, TaylorMade and Callaway are competitors. We got a golf ball fight between the two.
Golf ball fight. So Callaway rep walks into a sales pitch and puts Callaway balls under a blue light, and TaylorMade balls under blue light as well. And in doing so, shows during the sales pitch how the TaylorMade balls may be flawed under this blue light. There are some imperfections, and so in an effort to distinguish the Callaway ball from the TaylorMade ball, put it under a blue light, and the result was, according to this complaint, that there were some imperfections, and Callaway was using this as a sales pitch. TaylorMade comes along and says, "Hey, that's not fair. That's quote unquote, or no pun intended, out of bounds. We don't want, that should not be the standard here. We're not putting things under blue light and having them measure up." Callaway saying, "Look, it's a fair pitch, and we're allowed to do it. And if you don't feel as though your ball measures up under the blue light, then you need to do something about it." Now, there are some questions here. We're going to get some scientists involved and everything else about why those images appear, why one ball may look different under blue light than another. That part of the story could be very interesting as we learn a little bit more about the science behind what it takes to create a golf ball and why one golf ball may look different than another under a blue light.
Wow. Can I leave with this? I want to play a couple things for Richard before he goes, and then you pick the one that you like the most.
And listen, I don't care who the halftime act is. I didn't even know who Big Bunny was.
Or do you prefer this version?
Read Chris Russo. I don't know how you stuck with it. And I am not talking about Bugs Bunny at the half either.
Which one's you a Big Bunny or Bugs Bunny guy?
I'm a Bugs Bunny guy.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And I enjoyed halftime show, but
Big Bugs, bad.
Big Bugs, Bunny.
They're all BBs.
It was all good.
Yeah. Thank you, Richard.
Great seeing you, brother.
Richard Hill, our sports law expert. Mike O'Donnell talks some basketball with us next. is, where do we find Mike O'Donnell this morning? Mike?
Oh, Mr. Daniels, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here.
Where do we find you this morning?
I am in Kansas City, about to head to the airport in Kansas City to fly to Salt Lake City, then to drive to Logan, Utah from Memphis at Utah State tomorrow night, which is a really kind of cool non-conference game. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Can I tell you that you might remember this? I told you the story about a Utah State many years ago.
Actually, I don't remember.
So you got to go way, way back. UCF plays Utah State in football. Okay, this is when we're scrambling to find anybody to play. And back then, myself and others in the radio team were all in a little bit younger, more basketball-friendly shape. And there's a little 2-on-2 game going. You know, engineer Frank Lower that's worked with us for many years.
Oh, yes.
Frank's a great athlete.
Yes.
Jerry O'Neal.
Oh, boy.
Hoosier, maybe not in the best shape with, surgical repaired knees many times. And so we do a little 2-on-2 pickup ball, and the color analyst for Sunshine Network for that game was one Jay Gruden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you know much.
Right.
I don't know if you know much about the competitive spirit of Jay Gruden. He will compete in anything, okay? You want to throw paper airplanes, Jay's all in and so forth. So Jay is hardcore basketball guy, hardcore, like check ball, and we're not calling fouls and all sorts of stuff, okay? And we go 2-on-2. Let's just say that day Steph Curry would have been proud of Marc Daniels. That's all I got to say.
Oh, man. I believe that.
And O'Neal and Daniels beating Gruden and Lover was a little bit of bragging rights for a while. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good story. So speaking of washed-up athletes, I'm throwing myself into that category. I actually have a hotel gym etiquette question for you because, as we all know, you are the model Central Florida.
I love hotel gym etiquette questions. Right. First off, were there headphones to steal?
No.
I do that, man.
Yes.
You go in, you got a basket of those headphones and working out, they're gone.
There's a wicker basket of headphones.
Yeah.
Just grab and
Classic.
go. Yeah, I did not. So, I'm in there in the morning. It's this morning, nobody's in there, right? So I'm getting after it. And it's great. But at the end, what I've been adding into my weekly routine is I've been adding in backwards walking. It sounds ridiculous, but like on the treadmill, on the incline, I follow this guy, Ben Patrick. His company's called Knees Over Toes. And it's actually really helping my knees. I've had 90-year-old man knees for my entire life. It's been a real help, but you get on the treadmill, sometimes you're walking backwards and it might look a little strange, but I get the workout in, hop on the treadmill, put it up all the way to 15. You know what I mean? On that incline.
Are you serious?
At
15 walking backwards?
The incline is at 15.
Oh, okay.
Not the speed.
Okay.
The incline at 15. The speed's like anywhere between 2 and 2.5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got it.
So it's a fast backwards walk, and this guy comes in and he walks in and he sees me and he goes right next to me and he's running and I can feel him. Just every 30 seconds or so looking over at me like, what is this guy doing? Why is this a weird person? I'm still within my right to just, if I'm not bothering anybody, if I'm not looking, if I'm not, heavy breathing or panting, I'm good, right?
Yeah, an initial weird look is okay, but at some point you just okay, that's what that guy's doing.
Yeah, but it would look. I know it looks weird, but I do feel like I'm just not going to stop it. I don't care anymore.
No,
that's where I'm at.
No, I respect that. All right, let me turn to basketball on the court if I can. You've done a lot of games at a lot of places, and you've seen a lot of different situations. You were in Kansas State the other night when Cincinnati played Kansas State in a basketball game that got ugly for Kansas State. Jerome Tang had a very interesting post game. He ripped his team, said they're not worthy of putting on the uniform. There'll be changes. Most won't be here. Told them to be at practice at 6 a.m. He said they ran at 6 a.m. yesterday and then practiced at 2:30. You were there. Bramlage is a great place when it's packed.
Yep.
What do you make of what's happened there and Jerome Tang's kind of public criticism the last couple of weeks of his team?
Well, that was a very interesting game. That was a team that absolutely just did not care to be out there. Now Jerome Tang is trying to coach his team to the best of his ability, but Mark, it's the first time in my life in college basketball, whether a player, coach, broadcaster, I've never seen a student section. It started out with like maybe 6 or 7 guys. There was close to maybe 60 to 70 students that had all D bags over their heads with different phrases written on it, a paper bag. And it was a bad look. They were booing. They started clapping. It was just an absolute mess. And there was no fight. You would think that there would be some type of fight after that. Bramlage Coliseum's nickname is the Octagon of Doom. I've been there when it's loud, and my gosh, it is a fantastic home court atmosphere. Absolutely fantastic. Outside the student section, there was this aura, a general feeling of just, I almost kind of want to use the word disdain. It wasn't about the loss. It was just about the effort. And when you have one of the highest NIL payrolls in the Big 12, top 5 in the Big 12, and you have the 4th ranked portal class coming into the season, and you've only won one Big 12 game, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for Kansas State. It's a bad look for the administration. It's a bad look for Jerome Tang. It's a really bad look for the players. Mark, I'm one that just, I don't like ripping players or ripping guys. But I will absolutely call out lack of effort. And there was such an overwhelming feeling. There was such an overwhelming lack of effort in that game that it was almost shocking. I wasn't quite sure how to even discuss it on TV. But I will say this. I don't know if it's going to happen because Jerome Tang's buyout is $18 million, which is an enormous number. But the amount of unhappy people at Kansas State right now, just outside the student section, is mounting to a fever pitch.
I won't do an entire Big 12 segment, but there's some things I do want to ask you. Chris and I had a discussion, a healthy one earlier this week, about Darren Peterson. And I said that every player's situation is different, and some players are going to take advantage of the school will take advantage of the player. And in Darren Peterson's case, maybe the money was going to be there wherever he went, and you had to understand what you were getting. And maybe Darren Peterson's main goal is promote my brand, justify why I should be the number 1 or 2 pick of the draft. I'm not going to go to Europe because I can make more money here, and you have to accept that along the way, I may not play as often as you want because I'm protecting my brand. The argument is, well, don't you want to play and win a national championship? Yeah, it's nice if it happens, but I'm there to make sure that I'm the 1st or 2nd pick of the draft. Am I wrong in that observation? And your thoughts on him not playing in what was the biggest game of the year for Kansas, which they won without him against Arizona earlier this week?
I've kind of been defensive of Darren Peterson in the beginning because I always tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. When you voluntarily take yourself out of the game for cramps, number one, any basketball player who has ever played in the history of the game has had cramps in some capacity, even if it's just one time it happened to you. It didn't happen to me very often. It happened to my brother a lot. Everybody is different, and everybody responds to cramps differently. But when you get a cramp, when you get a calf cramp, a quad cramp, a hamstring cramp, anywhere, especially on the lower body, what you do is, number one, you're in an extreme amount of pain. Extreme. It is so unbelievably painful that you feel like something is just horribly wrong. So when you either go down and you need help getting off the court, or you're limping off yourself. And then when you go to the sideline, you immediately it's fluid stretching. I have got to work this thing out because you can get it under control. It is something that we have a pretty good sense of how to do that, to get it under control. And then you can kind of go back in the game and feel it out. When you voluntarily take yourself out of the game, not once, not twice, multiple times, on the biggest stage, on national television, and you're just sitting off to the side, and you're not drinking anything, you're not getting work done, you're not stretching, and you're just sitting and you're waiting, that to me is strange. So that bothered me for a long time. And I said, well, maybe he's dealing with something that's different that I don't know about. Well, fast forward then when we're now going, and his brand, his reputation started getting destroyed on social media. I think his camp saw that. And so the next couple of games he played. Mark, I get it. You want to protect your brand. I get it. You want to be the number one pick. I get it. You want a big contract with Nike or Adidas. I get it. Dude, go get it. I'm all in. He is off the charts good. One of the best individual on the ball scorers I have ever seen in college basketball. Dude, the biggest game in college basketball on a Monday night after the Super Bowl, the number one team comes into town. You're listed with flu-like symptoms. If this is the first time it happened, man, it got real sick. I get it. You want to take it easy.
And you're in the layup line. You're warming up in the layup line.
This is one of 20 instances this season where now what I'm forced to say is, I'm forced to ask the question is, how in the world could he possibly handle an 82-game season in the NBA? How could you handle it? If you can't get up, if you love the game, if you're there to, I get it. You're trying to protect your brand, but if you love the game, dude, you got to play in that game. Flu-like symptoms. If you have the flu, absolutely. I understand why you would want to shut it down because the flu is a monster. If you have flu-like symptoms, my friend, you got to find a way to play. You got to find a way to play. And I thought it was really interesting when Coach Self said, I thought adrenaline would kick in the layup line, and it didn't.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting comment. And I'm sorry, that was a
no.
I apologize, but he is off the charts good. Off the charts good. And you've got people now questioning not just health, but does he love to play?
Yeah, two quick follow-ups. I think I cramped at BYU a couple of years ago from running. I had an extra water during the half, and I fought through and finished the game. So
well, that's who you are, though.
I did that, Also, broken ankle walking down the steps of the old O'Connell Center and still did the Florida-Georgia game, a Florida-UCF game, and then went to the hospital.
Huh? You walked to school uphill both ways in the snow as a kid. That's who you are.
Yeah. Hey, ever since they lost to Auburn, and it's a small sample size, but I don't know who's better the last 2 weeks in the country than Florida.
Oh, man. They have absolutely figured it out. 100%. I mean, Mark, you got to admit, there was a lot of frustration early on with Xavier Lee.
Yeah.
He's been really good. He's been good. He's been efficient. He's figured out the offense. You don't have to hide him on defense. He's been really good. Hauk is awesome. Condon is awesome. Boogie Flan's been a lot better. Actually, like Urban as well. First, I'm a big fan of him coming off the bench. But Florida looks legit. When you beat Alabama, Texas A&M, and Georgia, those three in a row.
And the way they did it, too. Blowout. Yeah.
But Mark, even you go back, you say since the Auburn loss, I mean, before that Auburn loss, they also beat Tennessee and Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, though, when they lost to Auburn, you're like, oh, okay. But then they're like, that's not going to matter. Watch us the next couple of weeks. I want to move because we got some time here, but I want to get some short on time. Let's talk about Miami. Jay Lucas won't win National Coach of the Year, but you want to talk about a guy that inherited nothing. I mean, that's a school that did not capitalize off the Final Four run. Larinaga coach and like, okay, time to move on. But that's a huge win against North Carolina. That had a domino effect because it pushed some bubble teams on the wrong side of the bubble. Because today, I think Miami's in. Huge win for them. Did they catch Carolina at the right time after the Duke game? That's Carolina's problem, but a really, really good win for Miami, who led start to finish.
Yeah, a totally new roster. Malik Renault, Trey Donaldson. Their next stretch is going to be everything for them. NC State, Virginia Tech, Virginia. Those are three super important games. You got to get 2 out of 3. And then, hey, by the way, you go and you got to play at Florida State. The Fighting Van O'Donnell's up there. Their Seminoles are going to be ready after that.
Yeah.
And that run. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do this. It's All-Star Weekend, and I'm not asking about the All-Star game or anything like that. I am two things. You agree. The celebrity game tonight, Shams has to look like he can at least play. You can't be the go-to information guy and have no game. You agree,
That's
right?
right. That's right. Yeah, I agree with that. You've got to, if you're the younger guy in the game, you've got a jumper. You can't have, I think what would save him, he doesn't have to score a lot, but you can't have a super awkward breakaway layup where it looks like, your legs are going to explode. Yeah, you can't have that if you're Shams, yeah.
Okay, Mike O'Donnell gets to pick his all-time three-point shooting contest with four participants. Geez. Who are the four that Mike O'Donnell chooses for the greatest ever three-point shooting contest? Pick four.
Steph Curry, Larry Bird, Mark Price, John Paxson.
Ooh, no Reggie Miller.
Nope. Nope. It's different. It's different. Reggie Miller is, if you're asking me to pick the greatest shooters, like he's in the top five, but the all-star, the three-point shooting contest is not the same as the game. You've got it's the standstill, stationary. You got this ball rack. It's got to be a different kind of spot up guy. Reggie Miller's not a spot up guy. He's a movement shooter.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, but that'd be my top four right there. I think that's not bad.
No, I think it's pretty good. Safe travels, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Mike O'Donnell sharing some thoughts on the world of basketball. I told you about that Jay Gruden 2-on-2 game.
Yeah.
Do not call foul when playing with Jay Gruden. He will throw the ball at you and be like, it's not a foul. And you're like, okay, our ball. We're good. I love Jay. Jay's great.
I found it funny, and I talked in your ear when Mike said that he wasn't sure.
Strong opinion on Darren Peterson there. Yeah.
Well, when he said he wasn't sure if Darren would be able to handle an 82-game season, I said it earlier in the week. I said it in your ear just now. He's already in prime NBA form. They don't play 82 games.
I was going to say he only needs to play like 60, so it's okay. He's in prime NBA form.
Yeah, now they want to get rid of the 65-game eligibility rule for off-season awards, or in-season awards. So
Kansas is at Iowa State tomorrow. I'll be curious if Peterson plays. I mean, their last game was Monday.
Why would he?
Little Theraflu probably fixes you before you
he's probably still got flu-like symptoms.
It is cold in Ames.
It is.
It is cold in Ames.
Probably don't even see him the rest of the season.
Big day tomorrow in the Big 12. I mean, UCF West Virginia is a big game. Kansas at Iowa State. Texas Tech, Arizona. Big day. 11 o'clock hour kicks off with the news next.
Want to sound off?
11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR, HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader, Marc Daniels, the Beat Sports. Chris Vasquez is over there. The NBA reaches its All-Star break. 3 games last night. Among the games, 41-year-old LeBron James became the first player at that age to record a triple-double as the Lakers closed out their first half of the season with a win over the Dallas Mavericks. And LeBron, again, the first 41-year-old with a triple-double. NBA made other news yesterday when, in the wake of discussion of teams tanking, the league issued a couple of fines, including a $500,000 fine to the Utah Jazz and a $100,000 fine to the Indiana Pacers. The league says both teams had healthy players in recent games, while noting that moves compromise integrity and will not be tolerated by the NBA. Adam Silver gave a much longer statement. The fines are nice. The question is, will the tanking stop? There's no rule change this year of the NBA, but maybe the league will take up further discussions moving forward. All-Star Weekend has a celebrity All-Star game tonight. All-Star Saturday with a dunk contest. Magic's Chase Richardson will participate in that. 3-point shooting contest and other events. And Sunday's All-Star game. Chris will watch a total of how many minutes?
Goose egg.
Oh, what a Scrooge.
I got other things to do.
Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss at the moment has been granted an additional year of eligibility. In a Mississippi State courtroom yesterday, an emotional judge read his ruling that says Chambliss will get the extra year. The NCAA was fighting after ruling twice that he was denied the 6th year, that he should not be given the year. A judge rules in his favor. The NCAA is expected to appeal to what would be the Mississippi Supreme Court. Yeah, that group's going to go into Trinidad Chambliss. And
this is setting such a bad precedent.
Again, I said this before. As a football fan, I like watching Trinidad Chambliss play football. And I think he'll probably be a better college quarterback than a pro quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong. I also understand the eligibility battle that the NCAA faces. And every time someone goes, well, each case is different than the others. If you're the NCAA, then you're like, then what do you want to do? You just want to take every single case and go to court. Chris, I don't have this year's numbers. These are the 24, 25 numbers. Do you know how many eligibility cases in college football, forget in total sports, do you have any idea how many eligibility cases the NCAA heard?
I feel like I'm lowballing it. I'll say 200.
That'd be north of 2,000. So what every case is different. If you don't set some sort of rules, then how do you expect them to operate? Because remember, people forget this. I'm not going to do a long ramble here. The NCAA is made up of member schools. Member schools provide individuals from their staff to make up most of the committees that set rules. There's not the president, Charlie Baker. There's not 10 other people that sit in a room and go, let's see if we can screw athletes every single day. I know people report it that way, but it's not the case. And their argument is, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, in this case, and maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Or maybe it's not. Good point.
Expert analysis.
Breaking it down is only weekend right here. Sure. Daytona 500 this weekend. Joey Logano, Chase Elliott win the qualifying races yesterday at Daytona to set the field coming up for Sunday's Daytona 500. Men's hockey team beats Latvia 5-1 yesterday. Chloe Kim gets silver in the half pipe. By the way, Olympic viewership really strong. Major League owners have voted to enforce the rule that prevents first and third base coaches from leaving their boxes after the pitch is thrown. The goal is to curb the practice of those coaches seeing and then relaying to hitters what the pitch is coming. As to what pitch is coming next. Some coaches are really good.
I'm intrigued on how they can accomplish that.
What do you mean?
How they're able to relay what pitch is coming. And
oh, you'd be amazed. I'll tell you off air how they do it. The thing that drives me crazy is, and I'll see it tonight in college baseball, is how many first and third base coaches are nowhere near the coaching box. They're just nowhere near it. maybe college will follow the rules as well. There's also an argument that you don't need a first base coach. You really don't. First base coach, you know the first base coach is used for? To take off all the armor from the hitter when he gets to first base. That's it, right? Yeah.
You gotta tell him to go to second.
Elbow pad, wrist pad, knee pad, ankle pad. You know, he gets the oven mitt, better known as a sliding glove. I mean, that's it. That's 98% of the first base coach's job. Pete Thamel of ESPN reporting that the document the Big Ten rather, has been circulating within the conference, purposely leaked, of its 2014 playoff for college football. The plan would include doing a war with all conference championships. It would guarantee one group of 6 slot, and we have a 2014 playoff. They're strongly behind it. The SEC remains strongly opposed. Remember, we did not get any vote to change the format in 2026. We'll have a 14 playoff for the 26th.
Can I ask you something real quick that's
College football
not
season.
college football
Yeah.
playoff related, but it has to do with college football? So North Dakota State's coming up to FBS.
Yes.
But they can't
South
play.
Dakota State's expected to go to COSL. Yes.
But they can't participate in bowl games or postseason
So
for
they
a
go to
couple
court.
years.
Yeah.
Why?
There's a transition period that the NCAA put in place because you were asking schools, when you go from what used to be 1AA to Division I, or in this case FBC to FBS, there's a significant monetary increase in salary to begin with. And it was also done to not just allow teams to go, hey, I'm going to be Division I without meeting certain guidelines. And it was a transition period. I feel very, very safe in saying they will go to court to try to get it waived. They'll go to court to try to get it waived. Others have tried to do it as well. But their goal is to play for not just on the field, where if they have the best record, but to be crowned champion and be eligible for the college football playoff. Hey, what judge in our state wants to do this one? Right? Yeah. Yeah, no question about it. And that's what's happening. We do have UCF baseball tonight. Nothing says Friday the 13th, like a first pitch to start the season.
Nice.
The Sienna Saints. I think it's 15 of the last 21 years against UCF. First pitch, 6 versus Preston. The button's back here.
That's right.
Wait, will you be getting a veggie sub? I got to bring it up with Kelly. I was saying Chris and Kelly yesterday when I was at the sub of the week. Veggie sub. It's called a salad.
I want to know a veggie sub, so no meats or anything.
Right.
Normally is $8.49.
Yeah. $2 off this week though.
$8.49.
Yeah. Yeah. Just get the salad.
Who's spending almost $9 on a veggie sub?
Right. Yeah. I knew you both would like that when I said it to you. All right. And then tomorrow we got UCF basketball against big game West Virginia. Both teams 6-5 in the Big 12, trying to stay in the top 8 to get a first round bye in the conference tournament. Knights try to snap a 2-game losing streak. Pregame 5:30 tip at 6 o'clock for UCF and West Virginia. The first of 2 meetings. They'll play the final Friday of the regular season up in Morgantown. The week in review next. All right, week in review time. Chris and I take a look back at what happened the week that was. And on Monday, we talked about the Super Bowl win and what it means to Sam Darnold's reputation. How many careers take the wrong path because you throw them out there too early to play. They don't have the supporting cast, not just in skill plays around them, in a defense that gives you some balance. And maybe it took all that for him to land in Seattle, who, as John Schneider built a team, said, okay, this makes financial sense for us, and we're going to trust that he's going to fit into what we want to do. We're going to give him these weapons. We've got a great deal, and then it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think when you are now Super Bowl champion quarterback, your image changes. And as we go into next season and look at Sam Darnold, he doesn't have to care if you don't think he's a tier 1 quarterback, but he's healthy, and he's at a place that has won. And he's going to be perceived as one of the better quarterbacks because they got a chance to win it again next year. And that puts him above other guys that may put up good numbers, but he's got the ring. On Tuesday's show, Chris and I were talking about Darren Peterson, projected number 1 pick of the NBA draft on Monday night. Went to the layup line before a massive game against number 1 Arizona, then did not play for flu-like symptoms. And Chris and I went back and forth, and Peterson and talking about A.J. DeBonta at BYU also. I'll say the conference, the guy that's projected to be the other. A.J. DeBonta has played every game for BYU, and is really, really good. And by the way, his number is pretty close to that also. He's playing every game. It's a different path for him. He doesn't appear to have, the group of people saying, hey, sit, don't play.
So if you're an NBA team, you see 2 guys really good.
That's up for a team.
Really good at what they do.
Yep. Yeah.
One's playing every single game.
Yep.
One's taking nights off.
Okay. That's up to whoever gets the number 1 pick to decide if it matters.
If you're in the camp of the guy who's taking nights off,
yep,
you see the other guy who's playing every single game. Why are you not in his ear? Hey, man,
you
want to be the number 1
because
pick.
That group in that camp believes that there is not a race of who's number 1.
Asinine.
Chris with a big analysis right there.
It's so ridiculous to me. It makes no sense.
Listen,
and even Michael Donald was starting to pile on.
Okay, but you may not be wrong. For example, if he doesn't play tomorrow or taps out of another big game, then I will agree with you that some teams may say, but until we know who takes the first pick of the draft and until they say, nope, then there's no proof that it's hurt him yet.
Well, let me ask you this. Could Kansas take any sort of action because they paid him to play games? He is not playing games.
That is illegal to put into an NIL deal of either performance or amount of games. It's not because it's not for coaches not wanting to do it. Coaches want to do it.
Players college athletes have way too much power. Way too much power.
Wow. Chris forgot about the first 12 decades that they had no power. On Wednesday, Keith Smith, his weekly basketball segment, talking about the growing pains of Palo.
When you're the star player, try and play the right way. Guys aren't making buckets. Now it's going to be, all right, I got to do it. And that's where you lead to some of the inefficient shots. Some of the shots were like, God, you dribbled for 12 seconds of the shot clock, and then you took a crappy, 17-foot turnaround. Like, what is this? But at some point, yeah, you're absolutely right. Needs the other guys. I think, now that they're back, I have no problem with him scoring less, taking less shots, because that has to happen. This team has too many options with adding Desmond Bain, with Franz Wagner back in the lineup, Anthony Black's growth, Jalen Suggs is going to get his shots as well. Paulo's not going to be a guy who takes, 25 shots a night, every single night. And I go back to, everybody loved the way he played in the last couple of playoffs, where it was like, guys, this guy can be that guy. He showed up against Boston. Even though they lost in that series, he was big time there. That guy's still there. He just had a rough go of it. And I think we also forget, too, he's not 28 years old. He's still learning.
And Cam Miller, his weekly Thursday football visit, I asked Cam, a few months away of the draft, how many SEC guys he thinks goes the first round?
Looking at it now, 3. I can go through the top 16 and say 3 comfortably there. And then it will depend. Probably we're going to reach on Ty Simpson as well. So I'd say if we put that over under right at around 8.5, 7.5, which sounds crazy because of years past. We've seen a lot more. Honestly, it's a lot of defensive backs and a lot of defensive players in the SEC. And I think that's where the conference shifted. But I think we've also seen sort of not that they don't want to compete, but they want to go and shine elsewhere because of how stacked these rooms are. So I think it's sort of a sharing of wealth that these SEC teams have had that sort of leveled the playing field as we've seen. Maybe that's starting this past season. But ultimately they want to go and be the number one somewhere else as opposed to sharing reps potentially. But Keldrick Falk is got to be, to me, the number one overall player coming from an SEC school, which I believe would shock some people coming from Auburn.
That's the Week in Review.
Stud of the Week.
For me, it's got to be Nikola Topic. I mean, given everything this guy went through, he missed his entire rookie season with a knee injury, then was diagnosed with testicular cancer during the preseason, had a procedure, underwent chemo, and just, a handful of months later, he's on the court for the Oklahoma City Thunder, was able to score his first points, dished out his first assist, got his first rebound to overcome cancer. And then as you're not even overcoming it, he's still battling cancer.
Yeah, that's more work.
And to be on the court,
yeah,
that's just completely amazing. Good for him. We need more stories. I mean, you don't want cancer, but I mean, for him to
people
go
overcoming things like that. Okay, I can't top a Chris tip, but I'm going to ask you to assign a number next to these quarterback names that have won a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, how many?
0.
What was that?
Goose egg.
0.
In Spanish, cero.
Josh Rosen.
0.
Josh Allen.
0.
Baker Mayfield.
0.
Sam Darnold.
1.
He's got to be the stud of the week. That quarterback class of 2018 and the journey of everybody, and he won a Super Bowl, and forever will be Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, good for him.
Will forever be Super Bowl champion.
Stud of the Week.
Oh, there's so many, but I'm tired of doing the college athlete route or college football, college athletics in general, whichever way you want to take it. Joe Judge, what the hell are you saying? And again, this goes back to college athletes just think they can do whatever they want. Joe Judge comes out and literally says that if they have a kid during the season, that they don't need to be involved with anything involving overnight feedings, or essentially involved in the raising of the child during football season. But instead, let the baby mama take care of it so he can focus squarely on football. Are you serious? This is
that was interesting. Yeah.
In court.
Sturla Holm Legrid is the biathlete of Norway that after winning a bronze medal thought it'd be a good time to admit that he cheated on his girlfriend during an interview with the hope of winning her back, only to have her go on social media saying, I don't think I've ever been more humiliated, twice with the admittance of what he did, and then using a platform to tell everybody else and bring her name into it. You could say, well, at least he admitted it. Come on. Read the room. He's the dud of the week. I also had Joe Judge, but Chris jumped on that first, which is fine. There you go. That's the week in review, which we do on Fridays on our program. By the way, again, All-Star Weekend, Magic come out of that All-Star break with a big West Coast trip, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handled that. And we played a clip from Keith Smith during the Weekend Review, and Keith was tweeting about it. Kind of, I wouldn't say make a break of the season, but don't come out of the box and kind of give away a bunch of games based on how first half went. But we'll see. As we talked yesterday, maybe the time off will help some people get healthy, get in the right frame of mind. In some ways, maybe it's good that Magic don't have a bunch of players in All-Star Weekend the way the season is gone, so everybody stays locked in and focused on what get away for a few days, then eventually get your mind set back when it comes to playing basketball. For years, and I mean years, our good friends at Fiddler's Green Irish Pub in Winter Park have been great supporters of us. We're going to partner again with them for the World Cup coming up in the summer. Donald and the wonderful crew there love them. They're just great people, and every year they put on a charity 5K race, and it's coming up again, and we encourage you to participate in the Fiddlers 5K. And two great partners, Habitat for Humanity and Seco, have been with them And Hal George is with Habitat for Humanity, and Joe Raymond's with Seco. Both join us. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you guys doing today? Thanks for coming on.
Doing
Good
great.
morning,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Hal, let me start with you. You've been part of the event with Fiddlers. What's it meant for your group to be associated with this event, and how it's grown over the last several years? And for those that may not know the great work you do, please share.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this has been a very important event for us. We have the Habitat for Humanity of Winter Park and Maitland affiliate, and I've always had a problem with trying to provide affordable housing opportunities for families that need that in this area. And so the fundraising is always a very difficult challenge for us. And Donald and the Fiddlers 5K people have year after year have been so wonderful in raising the funds and helping us build these houses. Additionally, what we really feel strongly about is that we embrace the high school and college students to come out and work. So on any given Saturday, you'll see 30, 40 high school and college kids out there working. So that opportunity is able to continue with support like Donald's and the Fids 5K.
The race is next Saturday, February the 21st. They're almost at their goal, but they want to blow past that. And no matter if you run, walk, stroll, have a great time. Good friends at Seco, lifelong running through conductive education. This is an incredible group. And Joe Raymond. Joe, same question to you. What's it meant to be part of this event? And for those that don't know the incredible work that you guys do, please share.
Sure. It's a great experience. Donald, Fiddlers, the group with John Fox and the rest of the team have just been amazing in terms of, support and making this, not just about raising money, but, a fun environment. And Seco's been there with them for a long time now, and we've loved the relationship. Seco is in Winter Park, and Seco is a school for kids up to 22, and then adults as well for neurological motor disabilities like cerebral palsy. And this is our 25th year, so we're really excited about celebrating our 25 years with Seco, and the fact that we get to do it as part of being through FIDS as well. And it's just a great experience. And working with Al and Habitat has been amazing as well. So really, really have enjoyed the relationship, and really excited about the event next week.
Joe, let me just follow up. For those that don't know, you just mentioned some of the stuff you do. How important is it for events like this to help you? Because there are needs out there. You guys do amazing work. So what would you tell the audience why it's so important to participate in an event like this?
Yeah, this fundraising for us is always paramount. We're dealing with complicated kids. The state helps with some of the funding, but a lot is raised through scholarships so that these kids can attend, because there's really not much out there for them in terms of the outcomes and the programs that we provide. So getting this funds, and it's been great. Each year it's been better and better and more from FIDS 5K, but our organization is always looking for volunteers and funding, and we have wait lists that we can't provide more kids, and we need more funding to be able to serve everyone we can in our community.
Please go to seco.org. That's ceco.org to learn more. And Hal, tell me what it's like when a house is completed and you see a family move in.
Well, it's a wonderful experience. I mean, so many of us take for granted the fact that we've either lived in houses we own or our families have owned houses, but home ownership is such a difficult dream for most people. And to be able to turn this wonderful house that a lot of love and a lot of work has been put into building, turn it over to the family, and knowing that is a life-changing experience for them is just a wonderful thing to see. And these families are so appreciative, and they understand that this is a life-changing event for them. So it's remarkable. We get more out of it than we put in it.
You can visit Habitat WPM for Habitat for Humanity, Winter Park, Maitland, habitatwpm.org. Again, Fiddlers 5K, it's next Saturday, February the 21st. You're going to stroll through right around the Winter Park area. Fiddlers does a great event afterwards. It's a fun time. They're wonderful friends of ours. Donald, the staff, does an incredible job. Go to any social media platform. Just do Fiddlers a Green 5K and you'll get information. Sign up. They're close to the goal. They want to blow past that. This event's raised a ton of money for these two great causes and other partners as well. Hal, Joe, thank you so much. I know it's a special event. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, Mark.
Come back. What will we be talking about Monday? Next.
Did you just miss that segment?
I had made a prior at rasmussen.edu.
The weekend is coming, and we've already seen the script. From the locker room drama to the mind-boggling calls, we're giving you the weekend spoilers on a Friday. Here's what will we be talking about Monday.
All right, TV. Some things we'll be talking about on Monday. You want me to go first?
Go for it.
That'll be a bigger story, but I think the NFL may finalize a Wednesday opening game to the 2026 season in Australia. That's what's on the table there.
I saw that.
Wednesday.
Do you think it'll be finalized by Monday?
Well, I think more people may get information that it's going to be more than just John Lewis at Sports Media Watch that posted it.
What do you
and John Oran at Puck, by the way, did it.
What do you think about a non-Super Bowl winning team opening the season?
I don't care.
That doesn't matter to you?
No.
Okay. I mean, I understand it, but I think there's another way you could incorporate this game without messing with the fact that you normally have a Super Bowl.
We had a Friday game last year, but now thinking about a Wednesday game and then maybe Seattle doing the Thursday opener as well.
Yeah, well, again, why not do a Friday game, or why not do maybe have them play on a Thursday and then give both teams a bye week the next week?
Well, Australia's ahead of us in time, so Wednesday game to us is Thursday to them.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple of other things we'll be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is lazy take. We're going to be complaining about the All-Star game again.
Oh, that was my first one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be so bad.
You think?
It's going to be so bad.
See, I don't think we're going to be complaining about the lack of defense. I think we're going to be complaining about the format.
Everything about it's going to be bad.
Wait. If I took 100 people and said, hey, do you follow the NBA? Yeah. And I said, name of the All-Star format, how many know it?
None. No one, I
think it's less than 10 of 100. No. Well, aren't they doing like this team thing? And
yeah, they're going to think it's Team USA against the world.
That's going to be what people are going to be complaining. I mean, the lack of defense and stuff, we do that now. Plus, you realize why the NBA did this, among many things, is they don't want a 200-point game. So now you just get these quarter games. So you can have that part that's going on. I also think, among things we'll be talking about, Olympics will continue. Collision course due for the U.S. women's hockey team against Sweden. They're blowing through the group play. Sweden is the same on the other side. They're headed towards, and on Monday will be the semifinals for the women's hockey. The men will continue to play. We'll talk about that and what everybody hopes is a U.S.-Canada, but that will not end until the end of next weekend. The men's gold medal match is one of the events that ends the Winter Olympics. But we'll be following a little bit about what's going on with hockey there. I'll give you another one. Chris Gotterup, if you haven't watched his performance, the dude can play, and he's out of the gate, shot 864 Pebble Beach yesterday. He's 2 shots out of first place, and I think he's going to win again. And we'll talk about that on Monday. Some of the things that we'll be talking about on Monday when it comes to the world of sports. It is Valentine's weekend, Valentine's Day weekend. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Today is Friday the 13th, if you're into stuff like that. It's been Valentine's week and a week of love at Maxine's on Shine. And Kurt, our good friend, joins us. Good day, sir. How are you?
Love is in the air. Yeah, there you go, man.
Wow.
That's all you're gonna. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get from me on that. Yeah, I don't dare go any further. Otherwise, it starts to become love is in the air. Yeah, but that does wonky things to our heart. It flutters a little bit differently. Our voices crack sometimes when we get the opportunity to realize how blessed we are to have the loved one in our life that we have. So yeah, it can make you do those singings or kind of crack up a little bit.
By the way,
so yes.
I'm going to compliment you, as I always do, and rightfully so. Some people I hear like, oh, I called to try to get a reservation at this place, and I couldn't, it was packed and so forth. And I said, as I often do, you go to Maxine's on Shine Friday, said have a great time, place is packed, always bouncing. One, it's okay to go out to eat early at 5 or 6 o'clock, and it's okay to go out to eat on a Wednesday or Thursday. I know sometimes difficult with the kids, but you did Valentine's Day like every day this week.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, brother. Well, that was it. because I know it's a lot of pressure trying to get out on Saturday night. All of a sudden, even like the babysitter rates, they seem to go up. I don't know if there's a union for that where you see that happen, but that and just trying to get into places, and you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, we had a Valentine's special on Wednesday night. Last night was our Throwback Thursday, where people got the 2 entrees and a bottle of wine for $50, so you could come out and enjoy that, and you didn't have to worry about the back pocket taking a beating. And tonight we've got our reveal going on, where we're going to reveal a few of the features that's part of the 3-course meal that we're offering tomorrow night, and of course brunch specials and that kind of thing. So yeah, we wanted people to be able to celebrate it, throughout the week, whether you can make it Saturday night or not. So it's been very well. No. There we go.
See, you feel good when you hear this, right?
You do.
Huh? You want to sing along, don't you?
In your car now.
Wait. Do you know who sings this song? You know who sings it?
I don't remember the original on this. No.
Okay.
I remember Lou Rawls.
Okay, ready? No. It's John Paul Young. Okay, John Paul Young, but the full band name is John Paul Young and Milk and Sugar. How about that? Well, come on.
Especially when you're laying this on.
Yeah.
Having little psychedelics behind them when they were singing
I'm sure there were a lot of things that band was on. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. Keep promoting.
Yeah. So it's been a wonderful week. And for those of you that are out there and saying, you're not even want to go out at night, but maybe you still want to go out and get a bite to eat, I'd highly recommend you come check us out for our Rejuvenation Brunch. It's a great way. Come in, power up, have some time to yourselves. I mean, obviously Saturday is going to be super packed, and Sunday is. But if you get a chance to break out of the office today too, go ahead and start that weekend early. And then if you want to avoid, getting out and about on Friday night and Saturday night, come in and join us. Mark, today we thought we'd start it off really beautifully. We've got a fantastic deal with Hampton Water Rosé Bubbly. Bubbly, just saying the word bubbly goes right along with Love is in the Air. Beautiful sparkling wine out of the southwest part of France. And as you know, Mark, yes, part of the John Bon Jovi empire. And but what we're doing
Name
is
dropper again.
I got to do that, every once in a while. Anyway, so you buy any item for $10. You buy 2 glasses of the bubbly. You just take a little picture of that. You scan it into the QR code. Hampton Water's automatically going to Venmo you $10 right back right away. What a great way to get started. You can do that per person. You each get a $10 item. You each get 2 glasses. We don't care. They don't care. Come on in. And it's, you get a little liquid laughter in your heart and get started with your meal on that. So we'll have that offer going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the Sunday brunch, we're going to have some extra features that are going to be going on. I got a feeling Chef's going to have a beautiful steak feature and probably maybe a steak Benedict and some fresh fish. The fresh catch throughout the weekend, because it's being caught right off of Cape Canaveral right now with the cold weather that we had, and the fish had moved inshore a bit. And folks, I know everybody out there loves mahi. And like we said, we're very vetted that it's locally and freshly netted. So you're going to get one of the freshest slices of mahi you've ever had. Chef is doing a blood orange beurre blanc tonight. So you're going to get a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of bitterness of that blood orange mixed in with butter and white wine sauteed. Oh man, it is so fresh and so beautiful and delicious. Let me go ahead and tell everybody a little bit of what's on the menu. And by the way, right now, first and foremost, if you want to get into Maxine's Sunshine, I've opened up some spots now for Valentine's night. So you can go online to maxinesunshine.com, right there on the open table, click on the times and tables that you're looking for, and go ahead and get in there. You do prepay for it. That confirms your reservation. I just opened up enough for about 30 people total. So that's 15 tables, y'all. They'll go quickly. Otherwise, you give us a call at 407-674-6841. Nico or Amy will be here to help you out and get you going. So the features for tomorrow night, the 3-course meal. You got your choice of course, our traditional fried green tomato and crab cake combo. Absolutely yum, yum. Get you some on that. The soup is going to be our wild mushroom and brie cream soup. People just go crazy over this stuff. It is absolutely delicious. Wagyu carpaccio. Those are 3, oh man, tenderly pounded American Wagyu beef that we're doing with a red mustard sauce and capers and crostinis. It is absolutely glorious. In the main stage, Always one of our favorites, Mark. Lobster ravioli. How can
Well, I
you
like
not have
lobster
that?
ravioli from your place. It's really
I
good.
know you do. I know you do. I see it on your face right now. So beautiful, folks. I mean, we got some of the best U10 scallops, giant shrimp that's going in with that, little mushrooms, garlic sherry cream sauce on there, our duck confit, cassoulet. You may not get duck confit that often, but you talk about the quarter portions of the duck, that nice dark meat that we slow cook, and it just falls right off the bone. And a little bit, we're doing that with red beans and spinach and a beautiful orange sauce over that. We got a wild mushroom tart going on, a fresh Florida catch I told you, and beef tenderloin Oscar. We're doing 6-ounce Choice Plus Black Angus herb crusted beef tenderloin with lobster claw and knuckle meat. Who else has got that? I don't know. I don't think anybody. Berries Romanoff chocolate raspberry tart, caramel sea salt cheesecake for you. Wonderful optional wine pairing. My mouth's watering when I'm talking about it. I'm going to take all the guesswork out of it for you. We'd love to have you for brunch. We'd love to have you for dinner tonight or tomorrow night. The easiest way to do so, again, 2 ways. Give us a call at 407-674-6841. We'll let you know the times and tables that we have available. You can go online to Maxine'sOnShine.com. Right there on the homepage, you can click on check out the Valentine's Day section. It'll take you right to the reservations tab. You can see what times and tables that we have available there. Please, if you have any problems we don't pick up, leave us a name and a number. We'd love the opportunity to celebrate the love that you have for yourself and for the persons that you're with. And if we don't get to see you then, we look forward to seeing you very soon. Much love to everybody. Much gratitude to all. I hope you have a blessed holiday weekend. Happy Valentine's, everybody.
Miss any of that, go to Maxine'sOnShine.com and get all the information right there. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Back to put a wrap on the Friday show next. If we don't
trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends. Ooh.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I didn't get to sit on the bridge today, but my curling highlight of the day.
A chance to knock off the Canadians through the opening to the house. 4-2. The U.S. for the first time have defeated Canada at the Olympic Games.
Oh, how's that taste?
You can't stop the U.S. in curling.
That's the women's team taking out Canada. Curling today, hockey coming up, but just domination on the rink in curling.
Can't stop us. Can't stop the Americans.
Chris, weekend, what do you got?
Weekend.
Doing baseball tonight here with me.
Coming back here with Marc Daniels Saturday. Gonna do a little bit of brunchy over at Maxine's on Shine with the wifey and the daughter.
Okay.
Sunday, bartending out at Avalon, baby. Come see me.
What time you out there?
I'll be out there from 5 to close.
That's for weekend. All right. And the week telling you to do something kind for someone who doesn't expect it. They'll appreciate it. You'll feel good about yourself. And it's easy to be kind. Have a great weekend. We thank you for spending some time with us. We'll get the stream right. We'll go through the little issues.
By the way, with that, I do have a surprise for everyone starting on Monday with the stream.
Well, I don't even know what that is. I'll be here to see what it's all about. Have a great weekend. Chris Produce, I'm Marc Daniels, Beauty Sports.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station.